Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So I had a really interesting conversation with Tyson's reading teacher. So at his school, he's just finishing up grade 2. They have different kind of groups depending on their levels of reading, right? And I think, remember for me, that was the same way growing up as a kid. I was reading at a really young age, so I was kind of always at, the group that's just a little bit more advanced, I guess. And because, it wouldn't make sense to have me with the kids that are maybe struggling a little bit with reading, and I wouldn't learn and they wouldn't learn. And so Tyson's in a group with this woman. Her name is Sue. And we gave Sue, I talked about this in the last episode, we gave Sue a gift today, a handwritten note from me just saying how much I really appreciate her, because Tyson's really had some challenge a lot with dyslexia and with reading, and she's just an angel. She's just such a gift. The way I've seen her interact with Tyson, and she must have hugged and kissed him probably three different times when we just had a short interaction with her, and he handed the card, and she's like, "Oh, can I open it now?" And she's just so great. She's awesome. And as then Tyson kind of goes off, and I just said to her too, I said, "Listen, I so appreciate." I said, "Listen, it's been fun." I said, "Tyson's his reading's really coming along." And I said, "What's been interesting is that the last month," so let me give you a little bit of a backstory. Let me see, it is now the end of June 2018 as we record this, December 2017, middle of December, Tyson and I went to Calgary, Alberta, and we went through a program which is based on the Davis Method. So the Davis Method is a system for adults and children who are dyslexic to really, give them the tools to learn how to use all the beautiful parts of dyslexia, like really vivid imagination, creative thinkers. They see the world differently. It's been estimated about 20% of the population is dyslexic, and a lot of really big thinkers and creatives and people that really do a lot of amazing things on this planet are actually dyslexic, diagnosed or not. And so you learn a lot of the tools of, well, how do you work with the dyslexia, right? What are some strategies that when you notice when these things come up where you can't see the words, or the words are jumbled, or they move around, or you feel what's called disoriented with the whole process, what do you do, right? And what was interesting is when we came back from that too, is not only did things begin to shift, and there was homework when we came home, but even a lot of his behavioral stuff, right? Because now he's feeling better. Now he knows things to do. And so, like anything, you learn the work of it, but then the real work is getting home, right? And there was reading, there was clay work, there was koosh ball work. I won't go into details of it. If you want to get information about it, or if it's helpful for you, if one of your kids is dyslexic, or you think has some challenges with stuff, I would definitely highly recommend checking out the Davis Method. There's a book that came out too, which is written by Ron Davis. It's called The Gift of Dyslexia. And so I said to Sue, I said, what's been interesting? I said, the last month, totally fallen off track with reading. There's no excuses for it. It's just simply been, I'm taking both the kids now for drop-off. And so that means we drive Kai to daycare first. That's a 20-minute drive. And then it's a good 15 minutes, 20 then for us to go from Kai's daycare to Tyson's school. So Tyson's we're having to leave the house earlier. For me, it's really important my children get enough sleep, and so I let them sleep until it's okay, now they really have to get up, right? And so that means we have enough time for reading. We've tried after school, it just doesn't work. His brain shut off at the time. He's tired. He's hungry. Or we have swim lessons, or he's had soccer, and it's it just doesn't work. So I was like, you know what? It's just going to get dropped for now, and we can pick it up later. But what I said to Sue has been interesting. This is why I'm calling this episode about, are you? It's going to be something about are you pushing, or are you allowing yourself to be pulled? Because what I've noticed with Tyson is he's actually now very interested in reading. When it's not the 4 or 5 days a week of, come on, buddy, we got to get your reading. Come on, we got to do your reading. Okay, we'll do it after school. Come on, buddy. Come on, focus back. there wasn't a whole lot of times that I would get angry or upset with him, but it was this constant kind of this dance of like, how can I make this fun? How can I make this enticing? How can I make this like, come on, buddy, we're just gonna do a reading and then we can do this, right? Like, even some of the strategies that they gave me where we did this training at Rocky Point Academy in Calgary. And, you know, it was fucking exhausting some days. I'll just straight up, it's fucking exhausting. And for me, as I was saying to Sue, there's an extra layer for me, because for me, books and reading are everything. I was reading novels at Tyson's age. And it's not to be like a comparison or he should be here, like it's none of that stuff. It's just, I know what reading can do for human beings. I know the world it opens you up to. I know the way it allows you to understand and learn better and see things. And, you know, I'd be that kid. I was the kid playing tons of sports and like social and stuff, but I was also the kid walking home reading a book. Literally reading a book, walking home from school, because I could not put that book down. And so I would love that for time. I mean, I want what Tyson wants for himself, but I know that that's a skill we all need to have. And I know that those who are readers are very successful in many different ways. Allows you to understand. Anyways, I could go on about reading, right? And so what I said to Sue, I said, what's been interesting is I'm noticing that Tyson's more interested in reading when we're not making it like, we got to go reading in today, right? And so I'm calling like it's, you know, a bit of the push. Now, Tyson, you know, when we set this up, it was like an agreement, like we finished this. He got to pick his schedule. We've revised it a couple times because maybe it didn't work. But it's still at times it feels like it's a push, right? Right now, with the pause that I'm taking with business outside of this podcast, outside of, you know, posting up on Facebook and Instagram, social media kind of stuff, outside of my group coaching program called The Sister, everything else is just pausing right now. And I'm taking some space because it was beginning to feel like things were pushing. And what happens when we push is two things. Number one, just know there's the piece of like pushing something to happen because you're like, you gotta need to work hard, right? Like you're gonna get to a point where you're hitting a threshold. You're like, you know, you've hit a wall and you're like, oh, right? And you could decide, you're like, no, it's not for me. No, universe, God's speaking to me, or just like, I don't want to, this is too hard. And you just kind of retreat, retract, contract, and you never follow through, right? So there's certainly moments in life where you got to push through that hard time, right? You got to be like, this sucks, but I'm going to keep doing what's required because this is the result that I want to create, right? This is my intention out of this, and it means that I'm going to have to push through things that are not easy to do. So just know there's that side of the conversation of pushing through things, right? But then there's realizing that if you're constantly, it's like push, 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 push. It's exhausting. It'll get you to a place of frustration. It's going to turn into anger, resentment. You'll start comparing yourself to other people. Like, this is where I've been in my business where I'm just like, dude, how much longer? Like, I literally started this journey 6 years ago of like, I have this message inside of me, and it became a first blog and the first podcast and video blogs, the second podcast and like live events and online courses and like all this stuff. And I'm like, at what point will I not have to push? And I realized I'm like, this pushing is actually repelling women. It's repelling. Just like I realized that all the pushing with Tyson's reading was repelling him from even wanting to read. He didn't want to do it. Because in his mind, I believe, it was like, well, you're pushing me. Even though I could say, well, guy, but, you know, like, we took this, you know, took a special course, and we made an agreement together, and this is to help you, and, you know, I could even, like, relate it to, because he's like, he loves Minecraft. He's like, you could play Minecraft better. You know, I'm trying to, like, relate it to, you know, yeah, to something where it would be fun for him, or he can, you know, see the value in reading. And the pushing was not working, and it took the space of not pushing and just saying, you know what? And again, it wasn't like intentional. It was just like, I don't know, situational, I guess, of like, it's just not working to read in the morning. After school, we have swim lessons, or he just wants to like play and chill, and I'm like cool with that because he's 7.5. I want my kids to be kids. And it was having that space of, again, not having the push of the reading that made me realize that Tyson being pulled to reading, right? Like him being attracted to it on his own fruition, out of his own free will, much powerful force than pushing, right? Do you like to be told what to do, by the way? Nobody likes to be pushed in life. Now, again, you might relate to the first example of pushing, right? Like, I know for me, like with my coach, when we train, when I'm boxing, it's like, yeah, like push me, right? Like, don't take it easy. Like, I want to be pushed. I want to challenge myself, right? So there's that piece of it. But there becomes a point, sister, and you have to decide what that is for you. I realized for me with Women Wanting More, it's like, it's been feeling like such a push. I'm like, this is not working. It doesn't feel good in my body. I feel angry. I feel upset. I feel like I don't want to do this. Fuck this. I'm just going to dump the whole thing. Like, I'm like, this is not working for me. And so this is the reason why I've created this space to just be like, you know what? Let me just figure this out. Let me listen to my voice again. Let me get some clarity. And what I'm realizing is I'm getting pulled into a new space with this message, a new conversation, a focus on spirituality, a softer, a more feminine, a more healing is the word I want to use right now, space. And that never would have happened if I kept pushing. So here's my more tip for you today, sister, then. Where do you need to be pulled where you're really trying to push something? And maybe it's something with, like, for you as a parent, maybe it's with your business, maybe it's something with your health that you're trying to do, maybe it's, I don't really know. But you will know for you, there's going to be something in your life where you feel like you're just like, oh, I'm trying so hard, nothing's happening, and right? Or when you think of it, you feel kind of like constricted. See, for me, when I really push things, even if I'm speaking, I feel it in my throat. Like, it literally feels like, I would describe this, feels like I'm pushing. So interesting, right? I feel like I'm pushing my voice. So where are you pushing something in your life when really you need to be pulled to it and not pushed? And I want you to journal about this and see what insight comes up from this process. So, sister, finishing up a couple things. Number one, you need to be in the sisterhood. This is not a push. I want you to feel pulled to be there. But listen, there's some amazing women in that particular group, in this group coaching program. You do not have to do this alone. There's accountability built into this. There's access to me in our weekly trainings and daily sisterhood tips and women who are like you that want similar things. So all you have to do is do this. Head over to drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. All the links, by the way, will be in your phone, or if you get the show notes through the newsletter, which we're going to talk about that next. And you can click on it or just type it in, drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood, and you get to join the sisterhood for free for the first 7 days. My gift to you. Number 2, newsletter. Yeah, you got to get on it, sister. There's so many amazing things that will be coming out in the fall. I take this pause right now for the summer to get some real clarity. I'm writing the book that I finally talked about forever and ever, and it's being written. And it's a different one than I thought. And it's a lot about this experience that I'm currently going through. So that'll all be revealed through the newsletter. So head over to drkarenosborn.com/action guide. I'm also going to send you more for action guide, how to start your day in a place of power, how I start my day every single day. And then I want you to make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any episodes. And if you could so kindly, please leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Listen, there's some hate on there. There's some fear on there of hearing a message that, maybe actually triggers some women, or they don't like it, or they hear me say the word fuck, and, for whatever reason, right? But love is the most powerful force on the planet. I know this to be true. And so we can impact that with love and have all those hateful comments kind of just be at the wayside. So I would love and appreciate if you leave a 5-star review. And this will, in effect, too, help to have other women connect to the podcast that will read your words. And there could be something in that sister that other sister goes like, you know what, I'm going to listen. And it could absolutely impact and transform her life, all because you took the time to do that. So that is it, sister. I will talk to you in the next episode. A life of more. It's just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.